Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Ever thought about becoming an expat? It's exciting, yeah, but can also be a little daunting,
It really can be.
especially on the financial side. Like,
Definitely.
how do you even begin to think about savings and investments when you're moving to a whole new country with different rules and everything?
Right.
Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. Choosing a savings plan as an expat, we've got some great research on this.
Absolutely. Some really helpful stuff.
So are you ready to get this deep dive started?
Let's do it.
Okay, awesome. Now, before we jump into the nitty-gritty of picking the right savings plan, we've got to talk about something super important for any expat,
Yeah,
making sure you're financially secure in your new home.
absolutely. That's key.
And that's where our sponsor for this episode comes in, Benefits for Expats, Inc. They specialize in creating personalized financial solutions for expats all over the globe.
It's such a valuable service.
It is, because think about it. You're an Indian professional, you land this amazing job in Dubai. Exciting, right?
For sure. Or you could be an American teacher, starting a new chapter in Qatar.
Exactly. Benefits for Expats, Inc. They understand all those unique challenges that come with being an expat, whether it's navigating savings plans, figuring out retirement planning, or even healthcare options in your new country. They've got you covered. They can guide you through it all. So if you're looking for that peace of mind, knowing that you've got experts in your corner, check out Benefits for Expats, Inc. You can find all their info in our show notes.
Definitely worth a look.
Okay, let's get back to our deep dive on choosing those expat savings plans. And, it's not always as simple as just picking the plan with the highest interest rate.
Not at all. It's way more nuanced than that.
Way more.
Yeah.
So, where do we even start with this?
Well, the very first thing you absolutely have to consider is the regulatory environment.
Okay, so the rules and regulations.
Exactly, the rules and regulations of the country you're moving to.
Yeah.
Because they can be vastly different from what you're used to back home. For example, in Germany, certain savings plans actually offer some pretty nice tax benefits.
Oh, that's good.
It is. But then you go to another country, and those same types of plans might be taxed super heavily.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you really need to know the lay of the land before you jump in.
That's a really good point. And it reminds me, actually, I had a friend who moved abroad, and they just assumed that, the financial protections they had in their home country would, like, magically apply in this new country.
Right.
And, well, let's just say they learned that lesson the hard way.
Yeah, and that's a really common misconception. You can't assume anything. You really have to ask the right questions, like how do the local insurance regulations actually protect you as a policyholder, right?
Right.
Is this plan you're considering, does it actually comply with local and international standards?
Those are good questions. Okay, so listeners, do your homework, check those regulations. All right, what's next?
All right, so next up, we've got to talk about those currency fluctuations.
Ugh, yeah. Those can be a roller coaster.
Tell me about it. They can really make or break your savings. I mean, imagine you're transferring your life savings from US dollars to euros, right?
Right.
A small fluctuation, even what seems like a small fluctuation in the exchange rate, could mean losing like thousands of dollars. So you really have to pay attention to the currency that the plan is offered in.
So should people be looking for plans in their home currency or in the local currency of their new country?
That's a great question. And honestly, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. It really depends on your individual circumstances. But here's what you need to ask yourself. Is it offered in the local currency or is it offered in my home currency?
Okay.
How will my contributions and withdrawals be taxed both in my new country and back home? You've got to think about both sides.
That's such good advice. Okay, so we've covered regulations. We've talked about currency. What's next on the list of things expats need to think about with these savings plans?
Flexibility, because, life as an expat, it can be full of surprises.
Oh, tell me about it.
You might find yourself moving to a different country sooner than you planned, or even deciding to go back home.
Absolutely.
So you need a plan that can keep up with your, globe-trotting lifestyle.
Right, right. So what should people be looking for in terms of flexibility?
Well, can you adjust your payments if your income changes? What happens if an unexpected expense pops up? Can you make early withdrawals? And crucially, can you transfer or continue that policy if you move to another country? These are all things to ask.
Flexibility is key.
Yeah.
All right, let's get real for a second and talk about the less glamorous but equally important side of things. The cost structure.
Yes, we have to talk about costs.
Because there can be a lot of hidden fees, right?
Absolutely. Think of it like buying a car.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just look at the sticker price, right? You'd look at, like, what are the monthly payments going to be? What about insurance, gas, all of that?
Right.
Savings plans are the same way. You've got to look beyond just that headline rate and really dig into the fine print. Are there annual management fees?
Okay.
What about surrender charges if you need to make an early withdrawal? Sometimes there are even hidden commissions.
Oh, wow.
All of these things can eat into your returns.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy. It's like that old saying, the devil is in the details.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. Regulations, currency, flexibility, costs. What else is there?
Well, we've also got to talk about the local financial market.
Okay, so does the performance of the market where you're living actually matter when you have a dedicated savings plan?
It can. It really depends on the type of plan that you choose.
Okay.
Some plans are directly linked to how the local stock market is performing. If the market's doing great, fantastic, your savings are probably going to grow.
Right.
But if that market takes a nosedive, well,
Yeah.
your savings could take a hit.
Yeah.
So it's crucial to understand how the plan manages risk.
That makes sense. So a little market savvy can go a long way.
It really can.
Okay, last but not least, let's talk about the reputation of the provider.
Yes. This is huge because essentially you're trusting this company with your financial future, right?
Right.
So choose wisely. Don't just be swayed by some flashy marketing material.
Right.
Do your research. Look at their track record, especially when it comes to serving expats.
How do you even find that information?
Honestly, online forums and expat groups can be amazing resources.
Oh, good tip.
Yeah, you can often find people who have real-life experience with these providers.
That's great advice. Wow, we've covered a ton today.
We really have. It's a lot to think about, but it's so important.
It is. So to our listeners out there,
Yeah.
you got this. Just remember, this is just the starting point. Take your time, do your research, compare different plans, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it.
Exactly. Find a plan that aligns with your unique needs and your goals.
Yes. And hey, if this deep dive has you thinking about other aspects of expat life, let us know. Hit us up on social media platform @showhandle. Until next time, happy saving adventurers.